What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Christopher Bean with Tactical Advantage, again on the range with Kara from Mantis. And recently we did a compressed surprise break in dry fire just to kind of see what kind of data and information we get. We're going to try and do that in live and just see if anything really changes. So once we input, there's evidence on target of what we were doing. How does that or does that make a difference?
Well, especially because we could just be hitting the trigger and not caring about our sights.
Maybe.
Today's video is brought to us by Mantis. The Mantis family of products is integral to ASP staff building handgun and carbine skills and are your most economical and fastest path to improvement in your skills too. Whether you choose the X10, the Laser Academy, the Blackbeard, or use them all in concert, they will help your practice be more effective, efficient, and fun. Go check them out, pick up a unit, and thank them for sponsoring today's video.
Okay, so we're gonna open up compressed surprise break and just checking those drill settings. So we're gonna do 5 shots, each of us are gonna do 5 shots.
Okay.
So we have that set. We're in live fire, so I had to change that to live fire. So, are you ready, Chris?
Yeah, I think I'm ready. Let's get loaded up.
Okay, and I am starting you now.
$83. 95.
All right, so now I'm gonna do like from the front of the trigger guard.
63. 91.
Now we'll try from home.
21.
There's your 5.
So now what I'd be really interested in seeing are those differences similar. Get in there, baby, get in there. From what we saw in dry, which from a score perspective, about the same.
Right. So, and your last shot was from the home, so that obviously had more movement with it.
Right.
So we see that both in your hold movement and your trigger press movement. And time-wise.
So that's a big thing for me. So continuity over different things from dry to live. Is my dry fire actually doing what I think it's going to do? And when I go to live fire, am I doing what I was doing in dry?
And you stayed on your sights because your shots pretty much went where you want them to. I think the one that dropped a little bit was your last one.
Yep.
So that would correlate to more movement.
Yeah, the score tells us that.
Absolutely, more movement.
So we're going to let you try this, Kara?
Absolutely. So you'll just hit the reset button.
Okay.
And do you want me to change my finger positions as well?
It's up to you. I mean, whatever data you want to get from it. And then I hit reset when you're ready, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to go on the 1-inch, number 1 1-inch circle.
Okay. She's an overachiever, people.
I'm going to start from the wall at least for 2 shots. How's that?
Okay. Go ahead. Start.
93.
From the wall again.
94.
I'm going to go from the front of the trigger.
71.
From the front of the trigger.
45.
Felt that one. And from home.
81.
Oh, I had to adjust it. So I felt it move. I saw my sights move, and I had to stop. And you'll see the movement of me correcting to get it back up into my sights.
But the important point of note is before the score was announced, you told me that you saw some kind of variant in your sight.
Correct.
And
I saw my sights move.
Then this said, you sure did.
I did.
So that's super
What are you calling it? The truth teller?
Yeah, the truth teller, the truth telling device.
So that one was, the second shot from at the front of the trigger where I dropped it low.
So
I didn't correct it at that point. I'm pretty sure that's what that shot was.
So before we have Neil or Nat come in and try and shoot this, let's talk through that. Because one of the biggest things that people say about Mantis is, well, you know, if you're in live in the hits, it doesn't register hits. It's not going to tell you. Well, if you disturb your sights during the trigger press, it's absolutely going to show you that.
Yes.
And then now you can just correlate it to live. So there is like an intersect of data there.
I think so, and I think a lot of people look at it as a dry fire tool, but I think it gives a ton of value in live fire.
Sure.
Because it is telling us, how do we truly grip the gun in live fire? How do we actually run the trigger in live fire? So I think there's a lot of benefit to that.
Yep. From
Okay.
the wall.
97. 89. 93. 61. 70.
All right. So I did 2 from the wall, 2 from in front, and then 1 from home.
So what was the oof one?
That was
a-
shot 4.
yeah, that was
Okay.
shot 4. That was from the wall.
That was your
I just-
61.
I slammed it. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I gotta go, and it just did what it
But
did.
that's exactly what we wanted to kind of test. So
Yep.
we're seeing pulls, and it's telling us that there was a pull.
Yep.
So
And so, the thing I think, you stand close to me so the mic kick gets me, but I think that the big thing here is with the live fire, it's confirming what we kind of know, but we shoot a lot, and most people don't shoot
Right.
as much as we do.
Right.
And, the poo-poo that Mantis gets is, well, it's not going to help a great shooter, and I don't consider myself a great shooter. I'm a pretty above average shooter, but it confirms what I know to be true and gives me some data. So now I can plan and work on that. And now in my dry fire, when I do this dry, I'm like, oh, you know what? I need to spend more time at that trigger 2 of the, and a hat tip to Gabe White for the 3 triggers, but it's a play on what he does. And now I know trigger 2 is where I need to spend my time. So.
yeah, because I think it comes to the point where what happens in one of the biggest weaknesses of shooting is we go on what we think, not what we know.
Right.
This
Yep.
it has no feelings. It doesn't care if you like it or not. It's just going to tell you what the gun did.
Yep, exactly.
So,
Nat, so do your first 2 as double action.
Okay.
93. 89. 87. 92. 81.
yeah, I'd be real. I think shot 3 is when she went to single action. So just to see
Yes.
that.
So her scores, she actually shot really well double action, but the times, so she had a .99 and a 125 in double action. She kept her score at an 87.3 going to single action, but she dropped the time by 0.4 seconds, which is
Ah.
a significant drop in time.
Yeah. So the first couple of shots I did it from double action, and then I tried single action from up on the slide. Didn't like that. I feel like that's kind of why the third shot kind of flew on me, was because of all of the movement. And then so I tried it again just to see, and it was also pulling the shot. So I tried to just go off of the face of the trigger, and that felt a lot better in single action. But I think ultimately, I just feel so much more comfortable shooting double action. Especially because that's what I practice with. That's my draw to first shot every single time, is the double action. So I just have tried that more.
And
I
your
think she
scores-
outshot us score-wise.
Well, and the score
running from
validates
all the
that.
different positions.
That's the interesting part for her saying, well, I prefer double action, and her scores reflect that. That's quite
You
interesting.
never know
You never know.
until the soothsayer comes into it.
So yeah, I want to reiterate all the talk about, well, does it do this or can it do that? I think it's how you leverage the data. If you go in and you really want to analyze what it's doing and what your gun's kind of telling you, validate those two things together, what's happening in your visual kind of perspective and what the machine is telling you.
Yep.
Give it a try.